Going to come hard at us in their building, so we just have to answer by playing a smart game and play the right way, play the way we're capable of.
San Jose coach Peter DeBoer knows the situation his team is in. The margin between winning and losing has been razor thin.
We got two teams that are playing really tight hockey, and one mistake changes the game. We're down 2-0. We had Nashville up 2-0, and they came back and pushed us to 7. So they held serve at home. We've got to do the same thing.
The Shark Tank is rocking, and we're ready to go. It's Game 3 of the Stanley Cup Final. The Penguins and Sharks next.
NBC Sports proudly presents the 2016 Stanley Cup Final on Westwood One.
Say goodbye to the ghost of 1940. The New York Rangers have won the Stanley Cup.
The Detroit Red Wings win the Stanley Cup. The cup is back in Hockey Town.
For the third time in 6 seasons, it's one goal achieved.
This is KCAA.
I'm Mark Westwood, and I'm the official California Democratic Party endorsed candidate for 23rd State Senate.
Mark cares.
I knew Mark Westwood for years, and I seriously think he would make a fabulous senator.
Let's talk about the issues.
Mark cares. I support Mark Westwood because he's concerned about our quality of life,
homelessness,
and protecting us from big money special interests.
Healthcare.
He'll work hard.
Affordable housing.
If there's ever was a candidate I can get behind, it's Mark Westwood. He's shown us and demonstrated that he cares about our area.
Safe streets.
And wants the best for people.
Affordable college education.
Vote Mark Westwood.
There are two kinds of candidates, those who serve for themselves and those who serve for others. Mark Westwood is there to serve for others and make the world a way better place.
I'm Mark Westwood. I'll be the people's advocate. Please vote for me for the 23rd State Senate. Vote markwestwood.com.
Paid for by friends of Mark Westwood.
KCAA, where every day is a great day.
KCAA now presents Crossroads, a program in the public interest, bringing you the issues you need to hear about here in our community. Now here's your host, Mark Westwood.
KCAA 1050 AM. Good Saturday afternoon to you. It is hot outside. I hope you have a nice beverage, cool beverage of your choice, and you're staying cool. And as we look at those high temperatures, we know that the political atmosphere is heating up as we're just a few days from the California primary, June 7th, when people will go to the polls and choose either Bernie or Hillary or their local candidates. It's a very, very important time. We hope everybody will get out to vote. And today we're very honored and privileged. We have Congressman Pete Aguilar here with us, and he had an exciting day yesterday, and it was so exciting to hear and see Mr. Aguilar speak and introduce Hillary Clinton at California State University San Bernardino yesterday at her campaign rally here. So let's hear just a little bit of that.
We need someone who understands this community and what we stand for. We need a leader who won't run from the challenges that our ever-changing and growing region presents. We need a president who will be a partner beside us. We need a president who will offer that support so we can thrive and prosper. And we need to do everything in our power to make sure that she becomes president. There is just so much at stake this election. As Inland Empire families continue to recover from the Great Recession, we need a president who will stand up for working families and who understands that you can't balance America's checkbook on the back of the middle class. With gun violence wreaking havoc on our region, we need someone who understands that common sense gun reform is urgently needed. And nobody needs to tell our community that the world is more dangerous than ever before. That's why we need someone with foreign policy experience and a proven track record to hit the ground running on day one. We need a pragmatic progressive in the Oval Office, one who will continue to push our nation forward and keep Americans safe at home and abroad. There is only one person fit for the job, and I am proud and honored to say that I'm with her. And I'm honored to introduce her to you today. Please welcome the next President of the United States, Hillary Clinton.
And we welcome Congressman Pete Aguilar to our airwaves. Wow, how exciting was that? Hello, Congressman.
Exciting. Thanks for having me, Mark. I always appreciate chatting with you. Yesterday was very exciting. That's actually the first time I have heard that back. So I appreciate it.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun. Anytime I can welcome any other elected official, honestly, to my hometown here in San Bernardino, I'm gonna do it. And obviously, it's just more special when it's Secretary Clinton who is on her way, in my estimation, to winning California and being the Democratic nominee for president.
Yes, please welcome the next president of the United States. That is such an exciting sentence to say, and you shined yesterday. You absolutely shined, and when you turned around and Hillary Clinton with her one arm up waved and you waved with your second arm, I said, vice presidential material.
No thanks. No thanks. No, it's really just an honor to have the Clinton campaign out to San Bernardino. I think it's an acknowledgement of the issues and the concerns that Inland Empire families face, and how that resonates with our presidential candidates this cycle and with Secretary Clinton's campaign.
Yes, very, very much so. And for those who are just joining us, this is 31st Congressional Representative Pete Aguilar. He's our current incumbent. He is up for re-election. He's running, and like all of us, he's out in the heat right now and working hard, and he's got his campaign staff going, and he's very, very busy, so we only have a few minutes. But I wanted to talk about this, Mr. Congressman. It's Hispanic Heritage Month, isn't it? Am I correct?
It is. I mean, we're always looking at ways to honor and pay tribute to the diversity of this community. That's part of what my speech was about yesterday, and we're just thankful that we have such a rich. We're so rich in diversity and culture, and I think it's something that should be celebrated, and it isn't something that should be a weakness, as Mr. Trump and others want to tout.
Yes, exactly. And on your website, your official congressional website, you have a 1-minute video that you speak very, very eloquently. And if we can impose upon you just to play that just for a minute, and then we can talk about that a little bit.
Sure.
Okay. Joe, did you go ahead and play that for us?
Hello, I'm Representative Pete Aguilar. During Hispanic Heritage Month, we celebrate the courageous men and women who've dedicated their lives and careers to fighting for equality for Latino men and women across the country. From Cesar Chavez and Dolores Huerta inspiring a nation during the Chicano Civil Rights Movement, to Justice Sotomayor becoming the first Latino Supreme Court Justice, to California's own Juan Felipe Herrera, the United States' first Latino Poet Laureate. We've come so far as a community and have taken on roles that shape the cultural, social, and political world of today. I'm proud of my heritage and my family, and I'm honored to serve California's 31st Congressional District. I will never forget those who helped me get to where I am today, from my family to the program directors at the Inland Empire Future Latino Leaders Program, who mentored me and countless other young students and created an environment dedicated to raising the Latino community up and inspiring students to lead. I hope that I can pay it forward and do for other young Latinos what they did for me. While we have come far in the Latino community, we have further to go, from improving and expanding education and job opportunities to addressing comprehensive immigration reform. Together we can make this country a better place for all backgrounds, and welcome diversity is something we celebrate and cherish. From the Aguilar family to yours, I wish you a happy Hispanic Heritage Month, and I hope you honor and celebrate your family and culture just as much as I will.
Great video, and you can catch that at the Congressman's website. Very easy. Just Google Pete Aguilar, and you will find his website. You'll also find his campaign website, which is a very nice thing to read too. All kinds of endorsements. You're solidifying. The California Teachers Association has endorsed you. The California Labor Federation, Central Labor Council. You've got all kinds of great endorsements, and you've done all kinds of great achievements in the last couple of years. And now you're up for re-election, and we hope very much that you are elected again. I'm not going to be biased here at all. But Congressman, tell us that you're just a couple of days now away from, or maybe 3-4 days away from the primary here. And if you want to reach out to the voters with a message, I'm going to hand the microphone over to you right now and let you go and give your appeal.
Well, I appreciate it, Mark. We've been focused. My job is to work for San Bernardino County families, and so I've been focused on getting the Inland Empire economy back on track, and that's been a priority since I took office in January. While the national economy has certainly improved, we aren't feeling that benefit here in the Inland Empire, and so I've introduced a series of bills and continue to be focused on job creation, and we'll continue to make that a focus for the remainder of my term in a few months here, and look forward to working on these issues now and in the future. But there's so many things that the Inland Empire has at stake here, and so many things, including our work in helping our veterans and making sure that we have an improved education system to make college more affordable, and it's critical to this region. And it's incredibly important that we have an Inland Empire that's competitive in the 21st century economy. And so those have been really the kind of pillars of focus for our office, in addition to answering calls from individuals who feel that the system just isn't working for them. Whether it's Social Security and Medicare and veterans benefits and immigration, we've been able to return over $1.6 million in benefits to residents, including over $100,000 in veterans benefits alone, helping over 350 residents with the problems that they faced navigating the federal programs and bureaucracy. My constituent services team is ready to lend a hand, and our number is 909-890-4445 in the office if anybody needs help navigating those federal agencies. But I'm honestly, Mark, I'm honored to serve in the position, and we're going to continue to keep our eye on the ball and focus on Inland Empire working families. And if I do my job well, then the politics will sort itself out. Obviously, we're focused on Tuesday, and we're going to continue to run hard all the way through 8 p.m. on Tuesday evening. But I want to make sure that I do the job well, and I think Inland Empire families will see that and respect that, and keep helping me go back to Washington to work on their behalf.
Yeah, and I think you will be returned to Congress. I think there's a lot of people happy with you. I know, for instance, you handled the whole episode of the San Bernardino shooting pretty well. You were right there on the scene within hours of it happening on December 2nd. I saw you there personally as I was reporting there, and very, very concerned and reaching out to the families, and you did an excellent job at that point in time, and that's when I knew that we had a good congressman. You are very much supported by women's organizations, and I think you do very well in that department as well. So.
I appreciate it, and those are issues that are just important to me. Support of Planned Parenthood and NARAL, and my support of women's reproductive rights is something that's been a key pillar of my value structure, and it's important for me. To talk about those issues and to make sure that women have the ability to make their own healthcare choices, and I'm going to continue to be an advocate for that.
Congressman Pete Aguilar grew up in our backyard here in San Bernardino. He went to Kcaa High School. I do know that. Your dad was a union worker. And
I mean, we grew up in. I guess there's a bunch of cities who can claim me, and I'm okay with that. I grew up in San Bernardino. we moved to Yucaipa, and I went to junior high and high school in Yucaipa, and then went to the University of Redlands. So been there a number of years, but feel very much at home in any of those cities. But my relatives, fourth generation Inland Empire resident, parents, grandparents, great-grandparents, either born or raised in Loma Linda, Bryn Mawr, Colton, or San Bernardino. Most of them in San Bernardino and Colton. So this region is home, and I would just want to make sure I do my level best to continue to work on their behalf and make sure that Washington, D.C. is responsive to the Inland Empire. You mentioned the December 2nd tragedy, and there's still work that needs to be done to make sure that our communities receive our fair share of federal resources because of the response to the tragedy and the terrorist event. So, we continue to work on those issues, and just honored to be in this position.
Well, thank you very much, Congressman. I know you have to go when you have a United States Congressman on the line. Sometimes you don't get all the time you want, but we do understand the pressures and the schedule. And so we thank you very much for honoring us here. People can find out more information about his candidacy and his campaign at PeteAguilar.com. That's PeteAguilar.com. And forgive me, I can't rattle off the name of your actual congressional website. Could you tell me that?
Aguilar.house.gov.
Aguilar.house.gov. Aguilar.house.gov. Thank you very, very much, Congressman Aguilar, for being here. We hope to have you back. Best of luck on June 7th, and we'll see you on the other side, as they say. Thank you very much.
Thanks so much, Mark. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Kcaa 1050 AM and 106.5 FM. We just finished talking to Congressman Pete Aguilar from the 31st Congressional District. We're interviewing all the congressional candidates, and we've had them all on the air at one time or another here on Kcaa. We'll continue to bring you candidacy information, campaign information, and also we'll be doing some excellent election coverage on June 7th right here on KCAA, 1050 AM, 106.5 FM. We're going to go to a break. Joe, take it away.
Has your campaign run out of ink? Have you made the print houses rich and people still don't know who you are? Don't leave radio out. It's a proven fact over the years. Local candidates who advertise on KCAA get elected time after time. And now, KCAA will run your ads on not just one, but 2 radio stations, AM and FM. And from now till June 7th, it's unbelievably affordable. Don't bleed your campaign dry by buying ink when you can reach an audience of over 1,500 listeners at any given time. Are you really letting your competition have all the bandwidth on our radio station? Don't lose out. On election night at 8 p.m., don't say coulda, shoulda, woulda. Shore up your campaign by advertising on our radio station. It's more affordable than you think. For our contact info, log on to kcaaradio.com. Be a winner. Advertise on KCAA 1050 AM and 106.5 FM.
We are the first people students see when they arrive at school and the last ones they see when the day is over. We drive the buses that transport students. We are the secretaries that greet students with smiles. We turn on the lights, heat, and air conditioning. We keep schools clean and free of hazards so that students and staff are safe and healthy. We help children learn to read, write, and critically think about the world around them. We prepare and serve nutritious food. We are the watchful eyes on campus keeping your school safe. We are active in your community groups. We work where we live. We give hugs and put Band-Aids on scrapes. We share in their laughter, and we comfort when students are sad. When children are at school, we are you. We are the classified employees, and we are the Classified School Employees Association. 237,000 members strong, dedicated to educating students and nurturing the leaders of tomorrow. Visit us on the web at www.csea.com. That's csea.com.
Hello, Gospel World. You have reached Elisa, your host at Switch Reels Gospel Hour.
Join Elisa every Saturday from 6 p.m. till 7 p.m.
We will be sharing a variety of gospel music, including gospel, gospel jazz, gospel blues, gospel country. Not only will we share the Word of God, but we will have guests on the show that will play a big part in enhancing our lives. Every Saturday,
from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m.
on KCAA 1050 AM and 106.5 FM.
It's time to enjoy another round of that sensational game show that's so popular from coast to coast, Twisted Ethics. Today's ethical conundrum involves chemical compounds marketed as everything from household cleaners to flame-retardant fabrics. The question comes down to this: what's in that stuff anyway? Suppose you or a loved one gets deathly ill, causing you and your doctor to suspect chemical poisoning from a consumer product. Naturally, the first thing to do is to contact the manufacturer pronto to learn specifically what chemical ingredients it uses to make the concoction. Under federal law, the corporation has to reveal this essential information, right? If you answered yes, you're obviously not a chemical executive, and you're on the losing side of Twisted Ethics. You see, while the 1976 Toxic Substances Control Act requires corporations to register every new chemical ingredient they intend to market, an itty-bitty provision in the law exempts them from having to disclose any information that might hurt their bottom line. The maker of one chemical product containing secret poisons explains that this absurd confidentiality clause is, quote, essential for ensuring the long-term competitiveness of U.S. industry. What about ensuring the long-term competitiveness of U.S. consumers fighting to stay alive? This is not an academic question, for the Environmental Working Group has found that about 17,000 chemicals on the market today are on the secret list. Indeed, the confidentiality loophole requires our government to keep any new ingredient secret unless it can prove in 90 days that disclosure would not harm corporate profits. This is Jim Hightower saying, shouldn't the burden of proof be on the corporate foot? For information and action steps to help untwist the ethics of this game, go to ewg.org.
For more local radio every day, tune into KCAA Loma Linda.
KCAA 1050 AM, 106.5 FM. Mark Westwood with you on the radio. Got to give you a little bit of a legal disclaimer here so we stay, my job here is general manager at KCAA, and I'm also an employee here. And, all of our time is paid for, and including this time. And I've got to tell you that, as the disclaimer, I am also a candidate for State Senate in the 23rd State Senate District. But I do work here, and this is my job as well. And so moving on, I'm going to talk a little bit about what happened yesterday at California State University, San Bernardino. We just heard from Congressman Pete Aguilar from the 31st Congressional District. Pete has been working hard on the campaign trail, and one of his many pleasures was to be able to introduce Hillary Rodham Clinton, who is almost the nominee for the Democratic Party. Not quite, but almost the nominee, and depending on who you talk to and what numbers and figures you talk to, she is very, very close or not so close. She's in a heated debate and in a heated campaign, some say. Others say that on Tuesday, if they report that she wins New Jersey, that actually Bernie Sanders will come on the air, on TV, and concede. And some people might find that surprising. But the fact of the matter is, Bernie Sanders is still a Democrat, and he understands the delegate process. Like it or not, it is the reality. It is what it is. Some people are, these superdelegates, the system is rigged. And if you listen to Donald Trump, of course, he's going to say the system is rigged. But the fact of the matter is, what are superdelegates? And let's talk about that for a minute. Superdelegates are uncommitted delegates. They're delegates that don't have to vote one way or another. And why is that? Well, because, for instance, a superdelegate is Congressman Mark Takano, Congressman Pete Aguilar, Governor Jerry Brown. They're elected officials who the party relies on for leadership. And so it's built in that they can vote however they want to lead the party. It's the built-in safe system, so to speak. So say, for instance, we have a candidate and the candidate dies. Or the candidate decides they don't want to go on, or the candidate has some big controversy and will cause irreparable damage to the party if they are nominated. Well, then these superdelegates step in and they cast their votes. Now the question is, how is that democracy? Well, it is a party. The Democratic Party is two things. It's made up of Democrats but Democrats who pay dues to the Democratic Party, Democrats who actively participate or elected in their congressional districts, or their assembly districts, rather, and they are part of the party. The party is full of Democrats, of course, only Democrats, but there are also Democrats who just register to vote. Most people just register to vote with the party and vote with that party preference, but that doesn't make them active members of the Democratic Party. You have to get involved to change things. So if you don't like the way things are, get involved and change it. Get involved, run for a position as a delegate and at the Democratic National Committee. You can do that once every 4 years. Run to be on the Central Committee in San Bernardino County or Riverside County. Those elections are happening too, by the way. Those are the 6 people you are going to pick on your ballot. If in your assembly district there's more than 6 people running, you'll see people on the ballot. Otherwise, you'll just not see them on the ballot if there's like 5 only people running. But the fact of the matter is that superdelegates are, they've earned their vote, and they should be given a vote. And we've said to those delegates, you don't have to commit as the party commits or because there's a certain number of votes that happen in your state. So that's how the superdelegates work. And it is a system that's been in since the 60s. And depending on who you talk to, one way or another, they don't like it. But here is the real ironic part about this, and this is what Bernie Sanders knows, and what a lot of people who are kind of in the know and are very entrenched in the process and, have become educated on this, rather than just to listen to Donald Trump or people that, rattle this off. What Bernie Trump knows that is if he got every single superdelegate, if Hillary wins New Jersey and Hillary wins California, it's over. It's done. And at that point, what he needs to do is say, okay, I'm done because, we don't want, Hillary to have to spend more money fighting off Bernie Sanders rather than, money defeating the evil Donald Trump. And, I'll just say it, the evil Donald Trump. Some people call him the Antichrist. I might be in turn to do that too. But however you decide you want to vote, get out there and vote on June 7th. Don't call people names. Don't call people idiots. Don't follow the WWF methods of Donald Trump. Respect people's opinions. Everybody has the right to their own ridiculous opinions, as they say, but you do have the right to your own opinion. Give people dignity. Give people respect. I guess they call that being politically correct, but here in the United States of America, that's what we do. And so that's what you should do. Get to the polls, vote. If you haven't received your ballot yet in the mail and you don't have an absentee ballot, go to 777 West Rialto Avenue in San Bernardino. That's 777 West Rialto Avenue in San Bernardino, and vote. You can do it very easily. You can take a ballot selfie. You can post it on Twitter and the Twitterverse and just have all kinds of fun. But this is intrinsic that you do this. My father fought in 3 wars, in Korea, World War II, and Vietnam. On his gravestone, it says Purple Heart. He's not alone in my family. There are all kinds of people in my family that fought in wars and in all of our families, and we honor those people. They fought. They gave us a big, 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 big sacrifice. And the fact of the matter is that, we need to honor that sacrifice and say, we honor that sacrifice by at least supporting the United States of America becoming good, responsible citizens and voting on June 2nd. We only have about a minute left. I want to tell you that there's all kinds of subjects I would like to talk about, and homelessness, improving quality and access to education, promoting equality and civil rights, ensuring greater government transparency, improving the quality of life for working families, better jobs, and protecting the environment, expanding access to health care. And in the coming months, we shouldn't let our politicians off by doing WWF-style personality, he said, she said, they're an idiot. No, let's get them to talk about the issues. So I leave you with that. We'll see you on the other side of June 7th. My name is Mark Westwood. I am a candidate for 23rd State Senate. I would ask you to vote for me. VoteMarkWestwood.com. But you know what? This time is almost over. Stand by.
For listening to Crossroads. This program has been designed to present you with the issues that face our area. Your host has been Mark Westwood. You're listening to KCAA Loma Linda at 106.5 FM, K293CF Moreno Valley.
Welcome to My Awesome Empire. On this week's show, we're in Riverside, Highland, and Fontana. We meet the former go-kart racer and pit crew mechanic that is now the boss